Let's go. What's up, everybody? Trey Griggs here, Beta Consulting Group. It is Wednesday, everybody. Can you believe we made it to Wednesday? And you're here for another episode of Standing Out, a daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're in the comments today, let us know where you're coming from. So excited to have a great guest today. Can't wait to bring him on here in just a little bit. Remember, you can get every episode of Standing Out on demand, either on LinkedIn, through the recorded sessions, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel. But you can also get them wherever you listen to your podcast. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. You listen to it on the car ride home as well. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you being a part of what we are doing here at Beta Consulting Group with our Standing Out podcast. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, TAFS, the good guys in freight factoring. They are helping owner-operators and carriers keep those wheels turning. So we appreciate them greatly. Make sure you check them out at tafs.com. And remember, if you're behind the wheel of a truck, thank you. We appreciate so much what you're doing. You guys are the heroes of the supply chain. So check them out at TAFS. Let them know that Trey sent you. Or easily, if you're watching the show today, just click on the link that's going to be in the comments. It takes you right to my landing page so they know that I sent you. I got to get credit for this, folks. I got to know that I'm talking about them. So go check them out. They're the good guys. Are going to help you with cash flow resources, discounts on fuels, tires, all kinds of great things. And again, make sure that you tell them that I sent you. Also, while you're surfing the line online after the show, go to our website, check us out, betaconsultinggroup.com. We're helping companies tell their stories and move out of the realm of obscurity into becoming a well-known brand. We're doing that through SEO optimization. We got the best SEO specialists in the country, in the nation, in the world possibly, especially in transportation and logistics. And we're all about helping you tell your story. So check us out. Fill out a form, give us a shot. Looking forward to working with you and telling your story. While you're there, you might as well visit our swag store, everybody. We've got great items out there, and we've got a new coupon code because it is October. It is spooky season. So go just use the coupon code spooky and you'll get 20% off your entire order. We got standing out merchandise like water bottles and coffee mugs, great t-shirts. We got the hashtag t-shirts, everybody. So you got to go check those out as well. And make sure that you take a picture with us like our good friend Melissa Guzman did. Whenever you get your swag, we'd love to see you promoting that and being a part of our community. And again, make sure you use coupon code SPOOKY. Get 20% off of your entire order. What's up, Jeff Dickinson? Great to see you, man. Thanks for being on the show. The Bodacious Cowboy with us today. If you are watching the show live with us, throw us a comment. Tell us where you're coming from today. Thank you so much for participating. Appreciate having you on the show, my friend. Okay, we've got a great guest today. Can't wait to bring this guy on. This is my first time actually talking to this guy. I can't believe this. I feel like I know him because he's all over LinkedIn. He puts out great content, great videos, and the people around him speak so highly of him, including one of my good friends, that I just knew I had to have this guy on the show, talk about what they're doing. So please welcome to the show the CEO of Rocket Shipping, Gabe Pankonin. Gabe, what's up, man?
Hey, Trey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. And I got to say, I've been watching you since you started in March. I watch a couple times a week, and I just, the dedication it takes to go live every day and be consistent. I just wanted to applaud that. And thanks for having me on.
Well, man, I appreciate that. I feel the same way with you. I've been watching your videos with that concrete background you got right there. It's iconic. It's become the Rocket Shipping background. It's on brand for sure. So I'm so pumped to get the chance to have you on the show today and just kind of cut it up and talk about a few things. So let's start off real quickly. Just take a few minutes for some people who don't know who you are, which is very limited. But for those who don't know who you are, talk a little bit about yourself and about what you guys are doing over at Rocket Shipping.
Yeah, I don't talk about myself often, so I'm not great at deciding to say what is important. But at Rocket Shipping, my background is the last 7 years I've been in transportation. I've worked with a lot of e-commerce brands at my previous stops, and I started Rocket Shipping 2 years ago with the goal of helping e-commerce brands scale through the breakpoints of 1 million and 5 million revenue. Most of the founders didn't realize when they got into selling online that half of their business was logistics, getting things to people's homes. And the unlucky ones, and I think the lucky ones, once they work with somebody like Rocket Shipping, is that if they're shipping freight items, it's even more difficult. So we built a team around that over the last 2 years. However, I did quickly find out that there's a lot more to the industry that our operational model and our team and our people can help with. And so we quickly expanded into managed transportation in all of LTL and now into truckload with that same mentality to kind of be transparent, pull back the curtain on the brokerage industry, and try to do things a different way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And e-commerce, I didn't realize that you were in e-commerce so much. So that's pretty cool to understand that a little bit. How did you get into that? What kind of drew you to the e-commerce side of logistics?
I think the stickiness of the customers, as a sales rep would say, that was what drew it to me, is that we actually provided tangible value, because a lot of these founders, a lot of these e-com companies had like 3 employees, and they were doing $1 million or $2 million in revenue online. And all they were doing is SEO, ROAS, customer acquisition cost, and then shipping freight. That was their whole business. And they ended up having to keep hiring people that would just answer phone calls like, where's my order? And when's it going to deliver? That's kind of a dead hit on payroll. You can't really pay people enough to do that all day. So the turnover's high. And so I was doing that as a sales rep, as a 1099, and I was just doing all that for the company, right? I was just doing all the track and trace and reconsignments. And then during COVID, I actually left my previous stop and started and said, I can build a whole team around just this model. And that's what we ended up doing. And it's evolved pretty quickly since then. We've grown really fast, and we're doing more than that, but that's still my passion, is e-com.
I love that. And we're kind of dabbling in e-commerce with our swag store a little bit. We're not anywhere near that. It's more for branding than it is to make money right now. But maybe one day, we might have problems. We might have to come to you and figure out the shipping side of the e-commerce store. So we'll see how that goes.
For sure.
Talk to me a little about being a CEO. So this is the second startup that you've had, or second founder. By the way, shout out to Abby Haffenbrettel, who's going to be on the show tomorrow, everybody. So make sure you come back tomorrow. What's up, Abby? Great to see you. Coming from Nashville, Music City. Talk a little bit about being a CEO. You founded a company. Now you're with Rocket Shipping, which you guys been in business a couple of years now, I believe, is what's been going on. Talk about the CEO journey. Did you feel like this was always what you were meant to be? You're a young guy, you haven't a ton of work experience. Talk about that.
I think I never expected this to be the exact journey I took. I never thought about being a business owner. In fact, I was like a pre-med major, medical school type of thing. And I was going to be a chiropractor because I could own the practice. And I thought that I would be able to control my income a little better, and the school was a little shorter. In hindsight, it was that I just like talking to people and interacting to people. And I didn't like having a boss all that much. I always thought that I could do it a different way. And I wasn't very employable because of that. I was a good sales rep, don't get me wrong, but I
know what you're saying. Yeah.
So, but being a CEO, I wouldn't say I have a lot to say about it, except for that didn't expect to be one. I really wasn't one until probably this year. We had, 2 years ago, it was just me and my brother-in-law and my best buddy. And now we have 26 employees and we have org charts. And so there is more of a CEO role now in different departments, marketing, sales, ops, and that type of thing. And being more of a people person and setting the culture and the values. And so I really enjoyed that. I didn't realize that I would. I was always the sales guy. And so it's kind of been fun to evolve into being a leader and being in servant leadership and trying to apply that to the company.
So you mean that your brother-in-law and your best buddy were not fans of calling you CEO? They were
no,
going that route.
One of the good stories, and Michael will hate me for telling this on a live show, but when we first started, it was just the Wild West. We were just an LTL brokerage, and we're just trying to help whoever we can. And he would just say that he was the owner, because he wanted the appeal to authority, and we just let it ride. You could call yourself VP of sales, whatever you wanted. There's only 3 of us. So we wanted that appeal to authority. But as we grew, obviously, that's been one of the biggest challenges, is like figuring out titles and compensation and org charts and who reports to who, and, just people. So
yeah. That's what it all comes down to. And these are problems that, and challenges that when you become, a CEO, when you start a company, they don't tell you this. There's not really a manual that says,
no, if there was, man, I'd be reading it. I was always looking for it.
But the truth is, Gabe, if somebody told us all that stuff, we might not start. Like sometimes it's good to not know and just get started, and then you just figure it out over time.
You might have something there, Trey.
Might be there. Now, Greg says you were pre-med. Again, I agree with that. Nobody that's in logistics ever plans to be in logistics. No. So you were an anatomy physiology guy. I was a physics guy. I taught high school physics for 3 years and loved it, and never thought I'd be here either. But everybody kind of finds their way, weaves their way into this. And it's a great industry. I don't think it's one that I'm going to look to get out of anytime soon. I love being in it. Love meeting people like you and just the great people in our industry that are making.
I think I lost you.
Things happen. So. Oh no! This is what happens when you go live, Gabe. You just never know. And so we'll see
I can hear you now. I think we're back.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's all good. All right, so Gabe, I want to talk a little about the people. All right. So when you're building a company, you go from 3, you go from your brother-in-law and your best bud to now 27 people, and you're out there looking for great talent. I want you to talk about the value of social media in this proposition. We have a good mutual friend,
Yes,
Samantha
we do.
Jones, who's now on your team. And I'm pretty sure that you discovered her on LinkedIn. I'm gonna presume that, maybe not, maybe somebody introduced you, but she was putting content out. You were putting content out. You guys found each other. Now she's a part of your team. Talk about the value of social media when it comes to recruiting and building the team that you want, finding the people that are going to fit your culture and going to help you take this where you want it to go.
Yeah, I think that, and obviously Samantha has been a great ad. She's been here a couple months now, but I did find her on LinkedIn, and it was actually somebody that I was connected with, just liked one of her posts and showed up in my feed, clicked on the profile, and I messaged her that day. I was like, "Can you work at Rocket Shipping?" She said no, and then it took some convincing, but it was a great fit because she was so big on social already, and that's something that I think people don't put enough emphasis on, is having a social media presence, and that even if they're just doing personal branding, it still is going to reflect on the company, because when you're on LinkedIn and your personal branding, they click on your profile, they see Rocket Shipping, that's still like an ROI. It's dark social, that type of thing. And we've already had clients that we reach out to and they're like, "Yeah, I've seen you on LinkedIn." And I'm like, "Well, you've never liked a post, you've never commented. I had no idea you'd seen that." And
That's right.
so that Samantha being a force multiplier, and my whole team now is we're still new to it, but my whole team posts on LinkedIn now, and we're like, that's a requirement of a sales quota, is you got to post on LinkedIn, you got to have a
Oh
personal
my
brand.
gosh.
And we've
Oh my
got
gosh.
a team of marketing people that will, do some of the ghost writing, and then they can help put it out. But everybody has to develop a personal brand, and then they get to choose what they want it to be for the logistics. We don't give them posts; they have to be creative. But I think that that's our biggest hedge, and I think I was correct to hire Samantha for that reason. Now, she's also talented in many other ways, but her social media presence is why I hired her, and I'm going to continue to do that. And I think that that's going to pay off.
Yeah, no, Samantha's one of the best. That was a great hire on your part. I'm so excited for you and for her and what's going on with that. But this is sweet music to my ears, Gabe, because I love hearing it from you, from the top, from a CEO, the value for salespeople to build a personal brand and to get out there, because people are watching. You just don't know. I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me on LinkedIn who said, "I've been watching your episodes." And I'm like, "I've never seen you comment. I've never seen you like," but it's fuel for me to keep going. But they're there. They're watching. They're seeing what's happening. And who doesn't go to social media to try to stalk people? I was helping some friends sell a house recently. I'm a real estate agent on the side. I love real estate. I was just helping some friends out with a transaction. And the people that put a contract on the house, they knew all about them before I knew about it, because they went and stalked them on social media. Like, who are these people that we're selling a house to, right? I mean, this is what people do now. So for you to not do that, you're just missing out. Kudos to you, man. That is so good. I love the fact that you're forcing and encouraging and requiring your sales team to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just sold my house this weekend, and I've already looked up the buyers on LinkedIn. So that's some more proof of concept there. So
it happens all the time. And so if somebody just hears anything about Rocket Shipping or anything about Gabe, they're going to go and check you guys out. I mean, it's just the way it is. And anybody who thinks otherwise has got their head in the sand, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think on top of that too, traditional sales outreach, cold calling, emailing, that type of thing, as long as you're linking, I used to try to link to the website, and we do have a website. We're redoing it. We're revamping it to more video and what we want to do with it. But I just put all the LinkedIn posts and the tag of that, and we'll share an article that Sam or I did, or maybe Michael or Troy. And every company that we've worked with recently is viewing our profile before they even call us back. And you can see who views it. They're checking us out, and that's the image that they're seeing. And I've had a couple of customers, and this is, a testament to, it was a good idea to do this. I'm not actually the expert. I just, I know a little bit about LTL, and I try to share my ideas. But a couple of current clients were like, "Hey, you really sound like you know what you're talking about with LTL. Let's do business." And the one thing I'll say about that is that the deal velocity, instead of taking 3 months, is 3 days, because that's all it takes, is that they know, like, and trust you. They're seeing that through LinkedIn, and then they're saying, "Let's just do business. Let's talk about pricing later." And so it changes the deal velocity.
Totally changes the game. I mean, the sales cycle just shrinks down. They come with a higher level intent. They're more educated. They have a trust with you that you just can't. It's so hard.
Yeah,
to
now
gain
they just
that.
want to know what it costs and how to do business. There's not a whole
right.
lot of discovery left. So
Yeah, so many companies need to embrace that. But until they do, you guys lead the way, and you get as much market share as you can with what you're doing. So I think
yeah.
that's awesome. That's so good. Okay, so Gabe, I got a little something special for you. All right. So
Okay, this is the surprise.
Well, there's a couple surprises here, because I was super excited about having you on the show today. I follow you on LinkedIn. I see what you do, and some of your content is really good about what you guys do, your expertise in shipping, especially with LTL. But then some of your content is about your family. And one of the things that I saw recently was this post here, and I just had to bring it up because you got the astronauts Pankonin here. All right, tell us a little bit about this and what it's like going from being a CEO to being a dad every day.
Yeah, that's my son Malachi. He's gonna be 4 this month, and we were cleaning the car seats in there in the living room, and him and his sister, he tipped him over, and he said that he was on a rocket ship, so I had to join. And no, I think honestly, I drink too much caffeine, and so I have a point to saying that is that I always have a coffee in the afternoon because I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, and some of the guys are leaving the office. They're like, "You're drinking a coffee now?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm going home to chaos. Like, the moment I open the door, it's let's wrestle." And so I have to have more energy at home than I do here. And so that has been an interesting balance. And, there never is a real work-life balance, but the kids are at the office a lot, and I see them, more than most would be able to, because I'm able to work from home, be at the office, and be close to them. So that's really important to me.
No, I think that's great. And you're right. I mean, we go home, it's like that's when we got to be on, and our kids especially, they don't care how our day was. They don't care if we had a bad day or somebody, yelled at us, or we lost a deal, or fires rolled. They don't care, right? But to go home and just be present, man, and to be there. And I love that. I think that the ability to do that is so hard. I mean, it's just so hard, especially on a virtual world. And to see you doing that, I just think that's really cool. And I appreciate the fact that you put that on there, because it reminds the rest of us that, hey, when we go home, we need to be present and be a part of their life and what they're doing. Being an astronaut on a chair on the back of the ground upside down is probably not on the top of your to-do list, but that's what you did. And I think it's cool, man.
Yeah, I was actually pretty tired that day. We had just gotten back from a conference in Chicago, but they don't care, especially when I travel too. Like, I try not to travel as more than I need to, but when I go to a conference, I come back, then like the next day he's like, "Hey, are you going to work?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Are you coming back?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming back today, but."
Yeah. They pick up on that stuff, right? I mean, sometimes we think they don't notice or they'll adjust, but they pick up on that. And Matt, I agree, man. Best job in the world being a dad, man. I love being a dad. It's there's nothing better. In fact, enjoy it, Gabe, while you can. My kids are 14 and 12. I mean, it is just flying by. They're going to be gone, way too quickly. So enjoy those moments.
Open that door
every day that you get. Yeah, for sure. All right. So I got another surprise for you. So the other surprise is that I reached out to somebody very special in your life, and I asked them to tell me a little bit about you and what they admire most about you. All right. So here's what I have. I reached out and got your wife's digits. Don't hold that against me. All right. I reached out to her on LinkedIn. I said, "Hey, tell me about Gabe and what you admire most about him." Here's what she wrote. "The thing that I admire most about Gabe is his ability to still put our marriage above all, and to demonstrate to our children what love and a healthy marriage look like. We want our children to grow up knowing what it's like and looks like to be valued and put first. Marriage and parenting is a team effort." Man, I'll tell you, we sacrifice so much from our families to do the things we do. And to have your wife say that, man, I just wanted you to hear that today.
I did not know you were doing that. And I didn't know she wrote that. And she's in the office across the hallway. And now I understand why they were filming that stuff. So thank you, Mari. Thank you, Trey. That was awesome.
Well, I have to tell you, the reason I did that was because my friend Nate Schutz did that to me and made me cry on air. And so I had to do that to somebody else. And knowing the family man that you are, I just wanted to encourage you today and to share that with you. She added a couple other things. She said other attributes that deserve to be mentioned that relate to both his work life and personal life are: number one, his ability to go from CEO at work to dad at home. He gets beaten wrestling matches by our 3-year-old and has perfected putting our daughter's hair up in a ponytail. Now, listen, I have to ask you about that. Are you using a vacuum?
No, I tried that once, though. It just doesn't work. But I never quite get them in there good enough. They always come out later anyways.
I know, they're not very good. That's a skill, though, man. I'm telling you, to be able to do that with girls, man. I'm a girl dad. That's a required skill. That and painting nails. That's
I haven't done the painting nails yet, though, but I do have to. I am the hairbrusher. She doesn't. She'll cry if anybody else brushes her hair but me.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And then when she gets old enough, man, have her paint your nails. She'll love it. And it'll be messy, but man, you're going to love it. It's going to be so good. So that's awesome. All right. Number 2, his ability to handle any life situation and make it look easy, which, let's just be honest, it's just not, right? I mean,
No.
that's such a cool
Yeah.
skill. So you did well. Number 3, his integrity and honesty, which you only get one chance to prove in life. You know, you mess those things up, it's hard to get them back. Number 4, his ability to grow and change. Number 5, his enthusiasm for life and learning new things. And number 6, and maybe the most important one, he supports me, encourages me, and includes me in all minor and major decisions. It's just so cool to see, man.
Appreciate for you putting that together, Trey. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And again, like, things don't happen without our partners, with our spouses. It just doesn't happen. And so I'm just excited for you guys and what you guys are doing. All right, well, wipe the tears. We got more to talk about. All right.
I kept it together.
You did, man. You did. You definitely kept it together. But I hope that you were blessed by that today. All right. So we also have some other fun things that we do on the show every day. So the one is this: did you know it's a national day today? Every day is a national day. All right. And today we have a national today. Now, you are a coffee drinker. Okay.
I am.
So this is good. Now. Today is National Coffee with a Cop Day. You should go have coffee with a cop today. Did you know that?
There we go.
I know.
How do we set something like that up? Do you got to call in an emergency and meet him at the coffee shop? Or
this is a good question. I mean, it'd probably be weird if you just go up to a police officer and say, hey, let's have coffee. But local jurisdictions, local municipalities will often put together events where you can come together and have a cup of coffee with a cop. So, you know, in your area,
check that out.
Yeah. And then there's another national day. This one's for me because I'm not a coffee drinker. Do you know that I've never had a cup of coffee a day in my life? Not one.
Okay, we got to leave the live stream. I'm sorry. What? I judge people on if they drink coffee or not. And now, I mean, I thought we were friends, Trey.
I love the smell of coffee. Yes. I love making coffee for other people. But I'm a sweet tooth guy. I'm not a bitter tooth guy. And I have to tell you this, when I was growing up, my dad, every day, I lived with my dad. My parents are divorced. Every day, my dad would go sit on the toilet. This is a little gross, everybody, but he would go sit on the toilet and then he would call out to me. He would say, Trey, bring me my coffee. And I would go in and I would make him the instant coffee, the Folgers Crystals instant coffee. And I would take it to him on the toilet. And I think it was just the association. I'm like, I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
So I just never did. But when I got old enough to where it might have been fun, I was like already, I don't know. I'm a hot chocolate guy. That's it. So I'll say this, Gabe, if you have an event and you have coffee, just have a few hot chocolate packets for the rest of us. We don't all drink coffee. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I was just thinking that there's coffee and then there's decaf coffee. I guess there's hot chocolate too. But do you drink caffeine, Trey? Do you like energy drinks?
I don't drink energy drinks. Never had one. I occasionally will have like a Diet Coke. Maybe a root beer, maybe, but it's usually just water. This is it.
Yeah.
Just water.
Standing out.
That's about all I got. Okay, so there's another day, and it is also National or World Teacher Day, because I'm a former teacher. So if you're a teacher out there or have great teachers, enjoy. Tell them thank you. It's a great job if you love kids, and so it's wonderful. So it's a national day as well. Okay, one more thing, and then we're going to wrap this bad boy up. It is also time for the random question of the day. Every day we have a random question. Again, I don't know if it's any good. I haven't seen it. It could be funny, it could be serious, whatever. So let's go ahead and put up on the screen. The random question of the day today is, are you Team Turkey or Team Baby Jesus? Okay, do you know what this is about? I know what this is about. Do you know what this is?
Is it Thanksgiving or Christmas? Which one do you like better?
No. So this is when do you put up Christmas decorations? Are you putting them up before Thanksgiving, which makes you Team Baby Jesus? Or are you putting up after Thanksgiving, which makes you Team Turkey? And everybody in the comments, let us know. Are you Team Turkey or Team Baby Jesus? Gabe, what are you?
Well, I just have to answer, since this is themed with my wife being involved, she is Team Baby Jesus. And so we have Christmas lights up in early November, and we don't take them down. Like, we decorate the tree with Valentine's. So there's we keep it up. It's one of her favorite things to do every year is decorate the tree. And so we put it up early. We don't ever take it down. I
like your wife even more already. That's the right answer.
I would actually be more Team Turkey. But I really enjoy Christmas season and putting up the tree, but I really think it's a December thing. Like December 1st, you put it up, you take it down December 31st at the New Year. It's like the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm a little bit of both because I grew up doing the Christmas decorations the Saturday after Thanksgiving. That was kind of normal, right? You use that weekend to do that. But we listen to Christmas music early. October, we start listening to Christmas music. And I don't know about you, but during the pandemic in 2020, we started Christmas in October because we're like, Halloween's not going to happen. Thanksgiving may not happen. We're going right to Christmas. So we did, Christmas starting in October in 2020.
That was probably
early.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Gave you
It was
something to
fun.
look forward to during
Yeah.
that time.
It was fun. Had decorations up all year. Now, did you
Yeah.
ever watch the show The Middle, the sitcom The Middle? Did you ever watch that?
Malcolm in the middle, that one?
No, nope, just The Middle. It's about a
No.
Midwest family in Indiana. Okay, so this is just a slight thing. They have cold opens on their show, and one of them was this. It started with this. It was Valentine's Day, the official end of Christmas. And I agreed so much with that. I think you would too. That's the official end of Christmas is Valentine's Day. We just keep it up all the way till
I think
Valentine's Day.
that my wife would agree. Yes, that's it.
Yep. Very good. All right. So Team Turkey, Team Baby G's. Let's see what everybody in the comments is. Let's see. So John just definitely Team Turkey. Okay. All right. Graham says he puts his decorations up this week. Whoa.
Graham, what's up?
And stays up till March. That is quite the season.
That's dedication.
That is definitely. Matt is Team Turkey, or team. Yeah, he's Team Turkey. Nick's Team Turkey. Okay, all right, very good. Okay, well, enjoy your decorations, everybody. That's good. All right, Gabe. So we're gonna wrap this baby up. So Rocket Shipping is knocking it out of the park. You guys are doing great things. What are some of the goals and targets that you guys have set? How do you think about now that you have a team of 27, 30, going to be growing that in the coming 12, 14, 18, whatever months coming up, you're going to keep growing. How do you think about goals and targets and putting that out there for your team to help everybody move in the right direction? How do you think about that?
Actually, I think that we have vision, mission, values, right? And so my entire intent is to make sure that the entire team is aligned with the same vision. And that's obviously a revenue target, but it's more granular by month and by what we're actually trying to do with that revenue, not just growth for growth's sake. And then if that aligns with our values and our mission, to impact people, to grow quickly in this industry so that we can have a bigger impact on the industry and those around us in Fargo, North Dakota. So that's part of our mission. But I really think if you can have your team aligned, everybody's always transitioning either into the organization, up the organization, or out because they're looking at other opportunities. But my big hedge is that if everybody's aligned to the same goal and they feel bought into it, then they're more apt to not just work longer hours or anything like that, but to stay and be part of it so that we can achieve the goal as a team.
Man, that is such a great answer. I love the fact that you do have revenue goals. Like it's important, right? We got to grow
Yeah.
the business. We got to make money. That's important. But more important to that, in my opinion, is the fact that you talked about mission, vision, and core values. I'm of the opinion, Gabe, a lot of companies don't even have these things, but I'm of the opinion that the ones that do often don't utilize them to galvanize people in the right direction. I think about sports teams. If you're on a football team, they're going to be talking about what's important, showing up on time, hard work. We're going for a championship. We have championship DNA. This is who we are. Like they preach that in, but in businesses, a lot of times we forget that. And I don't know why. What's your take on that? Why companies tend to struggle with that? And why is that so important for you?
I think that part of the reason that some companies struggle with is that like at Rocket Shipping, and this is something I'm convicted to do, and it's one of the hardest things I do, is that I hire and fire off of core values because and that's not just like if they're a bad person, right? But there's some things that just don't fit. And if they don't fit within the values of the company, they need to go. And some people have great talent and might bring a lot of revenue, but don't have the core values that we have. So we can't even hire them. I think that a lot of people want to grow fast. And so they'll take anybody that can bring revenue and help them towards that goal. Ultimately, that is the demise of some of these smaller mid-sized businesses that hit a break point at 50 million because they didn't hire and fire off of the values.
That is really great to hear. I mean, it reminds me of some of the best lessons that I heard about parenting. I had somebody once tell me that you discipline on attitude, not on behavior, because behavior is just an outflow of the attitude. And so they said,
that's good. I'm going to take that.
You focus on attitude and discipline that, and so then that tends to clean up the behaviors that you want, but the attitude's really the core issue. I think the same thing is true here. Like you obviously want high performers who do great things, but if they don't fit the core values, and I would even say this, there are customers that don't really fit your core values that may not be a good customer to take on. They might not help you achieve your mission and vision as a customer. And that's important to think about that too. Where'd that come from? Did you read a book? Did somebody tell you that? Did you just figure that out? Where'd that come from?
The hire and fire off of core values is two people, Alex Hormozzi and a guy named Brandon Dawson. And so I went to a class with Brandon Dawson. I listened to Alex Hormozzi, and that is something that I knew we needed core values, but I just had like made a list, like this is what Rocket Shipping stands for. And this is our mission, vision, values. But firing off of core values is the hardest thing I've had to do. And I've had to do that. And I think that if I hadn't have listened to that and I hadn't have heard that, I would have probably looked the other way and grown for revenue's sake. And I do think to kind of bookend that is that, in an organization full of people, that's really what it comes down to. It's just people. And if the right mix of people isn't together, you can't really be successful long-term. Maybe for 2 years, maybe for longer, but not long-term.
That is so good, Gabe. We're going to end on that, to hire and fire on core values. I think that's just absolutely tremendous. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And then you'll come back and see it soon because I love what you guys are doing rock shipping, create more content.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, make sure to come back tomorrow. We've got Abby Heffenbrettel on the show tomorrow from Sage Freight. It's going to be an awesome conversation. We're actually going to talk about the transportation prom. Gabe, have you heard about this? Transportation prom. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I know. It's going to be interesting.
I'll have to tune in.
Yeah, please do. Everybody come back tomorrow for that episode and every day at 10:30 a.m. Central for an episode of Standing Out, a daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership right here on LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Gabe, thanks so much, man. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Trey.